Hey everyone. I'm starting to think that maybe I should go back through all the streams and have my best minute of every stream or something like that. Just a thing like that. For my game dev history at 1 minute of every stream. Just to see what it would come out as. It might be interesting to see. Anyway, I gotta do my usual setup. Tell the Discord that I love them enough that they should know that I'm streaming. So learn how to type because I can't type on my own Discord. Social stream running as well. And the final one. I'm logged on, whatever, I don't care. I need to put the little thing telling everyone to wishlist. I should probably just tell everyone to join the Discord, not even wishlist, honestly. You only get one thing at the very top, and no one really reads anything beyond the first thing. So if you tell anyone to wishlist, then they'll never join your Discord, and only join the Discord, they might wishlist if you tell them to. I think if they join your Discord, they're more than willing to wishlist, though. That usually, shows huge interest in the game, as opposed to just wishlisting, which shows some interest, sure, but definitely not as engaged. I need to go on a publicity thing, I think. I need to also just work on the game too. There's a lot of things I need to do. I'll get to them all eventually, I guess, sure. An indicator for the cursor recovery thing is probably handy. It is a mechanic they are using. And I'll let testing mode on. I don't care so much about that. Hello? Hello? Clicky cookie? I thought I clickied it. Jesus. There's only one level name now, so it doesn't even matter. So much has been changed. I wonder if the angle is wrong on these. My phone is in the way, I can't see that. Move everything over a little bit. I use the phone as a camera and it's on a tripod between the two monitors, but sometimes it's just a little bit far over. I just can't see crap. So it's just like as simple as that, like all my homies would like to click on this player start. No, it's identical. Something repositions Poppet to a different direction every time he rotates it, and I don't know what it is. Not really what I was going to work on. I was just curious. Oh, I need to know which variable it is that says when she can next use it. I wasn't connected to anything. If I put it as a player stat, what are you doing to pull information? Hey, Kool-Aid Jimmy. It's been a minute. How you been? If I include this as a player stat. Doing good? Nice, nice. What you been up to? Are you? How's it coming? First ever cinematic? Nice, nice. And I know so little about cinematics. I need to really kind of learn it. Yeah. Yeah. So what's your first cinematic about? Show scene? Nice, nice. I suppose those are important. What with people starting games up and all. Really, who does that? That's weird. Starting a game up. Bizarre. No one does that. Weird. I guess. I suppose. Five people playing poker at the table, and you get to select one and 5 people to play with. That's the game. Peace for the world. Okay. It's a fun way to start. Why are you doing poker? Is there some big reason behind poker for that, or is it just because it's cool? All these are going to be at 5, I think. It's not a very good indicator. They're on the ship in space and they don't have much to do. So they play poker. Next he's making a bow shooting practice. Oh, okay. It's a interesting transition. Spaceship playing poker to bow shooting skills. Very unusual, I would say. I like that because it goes back and forth. Seems terrible. Nope. So high before you picking a character. It seems to have meaning. Those are skills. It seems matters. Okay. Fair. What if that was how the darkness was done? But kind of a little wave thing going on that's kind of neat too. One scene with no meaning is the poker scene. That's fair. It could have meaning though. Never know. When you just want to grab this one thing, everything else is in front of it. Everything else is in front of it. I don't want to put this thing at. I need a way to show that there's who's charging up our curse faster. Just a hidden timer. It doesn't have to be a very big timer. It's just in the corner, a little thing counting. Can I see what it turns out? Yeah. Excited to see too. You have to like drop it in my Discord or something like that when you've when you're done with it, so I can see it. Usually cutscenes have pretty good frames because you don't have to, I mean, there's not a lot of extra things you have to worry about. Why can't I move anything in these things? Like, for some reason it wouldn't let me with the content browser. Maybe if I want to just program this differently instead of having it have a thing there. If I just have it where if you're just standing in the darkness longer. Hmm. Well, I mean, you can do them all on a separate little map, right? So they don't have to be on like the main map. Especially for intro cutscenes, so it shouldn't be too bad. Huh. You gotta do a lot of optimizations. I've had to redo so much stuff in this engine due to needing to optimize. It's crazy. Like turning off DirectX 12 and Lumen and Nanite optimizations like that. Yeah, take that Nanite and Lumen. Nobody likes you. Well, I mean, like it has to load everything in. So the initial load-in is always going to be like a brief blip down. I mean, like unless you set them to manually load things only like, you know, in a specific order and you limit how quickly they load each thing, maybe then it's different. But otherwise, if you're just loading everything in the scene, there's going to be a drop in FPS while it does that. I think it doesn't matter much if it's like, you know, only for a brief moment while it does everything, then it's not like a big deal. Maybe that makes more sense. Where I just have a ticker for this, and then every time she switches between the two, it lowers it, but then I have it where she recovers it faster the longer she stays in one. So if you just happen to stay in one considerably longer, then you get it faster. A sliding scale, if you will. That's not a bad idea. Then I don't have to have any kind of additional information for them to keep track of. Oh, well, thanks for dropping by. Good luck on the cutscenes and sleep well. I will be here for a few hours yet, for certain. Until I get bored, really. In case you wake up. Yes. I wonder if I'm making it regain too fast though if I do this, like a sliding scale. I just know that sometimes this turns out really weird if I don't do this. Actually, it turns out we have to wait a lot. I want you have to wait a lot. I'm trying to avoid that, but maybe punishing them and forcing them to wait a lot is a good idea. Oops. I keep hearing this keyboard is tied to something else. Ugh. Go. I don't really know how I feel about this sudden curse gain if you're in there too much, or if I want to do it for sanity too. Hmm. I guess I can grab the time there for that and then just keep adding, and then the longer it would be if you just stood there. This was like rewarding if you just stood still, but that's not even cool. Like, oh, do you really want him to stand still? Like, yes. I am keeping track of what previous light status it looks like. I think. So right here, so if it's equal, not set to 0. And now I have this I can add into calculations. I'm also going to print string this so I can get an idea of what's going on. Sure. Then how am I feeding that into calculations is the question. And we can divide it by 10. And then multiply it, or just add that as a +1. That means after 10 seconds in there, you would only gain 1 though. That's not like not even that great. It might need to be more than that. Because I really don't want you in the darkness for more than 20 seconds at a time. 25 at max, pretty much, so that's not enough. Well, I could divide it by, I could just add it as a direct number, or take it as a percent of the actual curse there, your total curse. I mean, you're only going to be in there for like 20 some odd seconds, but there's ways to get more and more, so eventually your curse would go crazy. That's the problem, because there's like things like the Hierophant, which would let you continuously go forever. So I almost want it to be a little slow. I don't want to make this a player stat so I can get access to it and then have a number there. But do I really want that number appearing on there? There's so much information on the HUD already. Also, do I like this better than I like this there? Maybe not. There's so much information on the HUD already. It's like, do I want yet another thing ticking up on the HUD? Because there's a lot of information on the HUD. Also, the super bar doesn't do anything anymore, I don't believe. So I can probably just remove that. I have a level, I have the 3 stats, boss information, a map, dialogue that appears there, and then the tarot card switching. I could just be like, the longer you're in the darkness, the more it goes up, and not even explain exactly how much. Either way, I'm going to take this and add it to here, I think. I guess it can just be counted as a ticker. That's all it is just ticking. There's no reason to increment though, because I just have to. I have to re-add it to the thing anyway, so it won't make a difference. Actually, no, never mind. What am I doing? Just add. What, this is like me doing a dumb thing here. Map add. I don't gotta do anything extras. Do this. Duh. I do need that though, just so I can see what the print string's gonna be. Not ideal, but it's going away in a second anyway. Why am I blanking on that at the moment? All right, just set. You can just set 0 there. I gotta get my brain into each thing that I'm doing because there's so many things in it. It's just like my brain's like, well, this is what we do here, and it has all this stuff for that, and then it doesn't. There's too much information in Unreal Engine to have it all in my mind at all times. So. I'll leave that for the moment, but I'm probably not going to keep it. I'm in a terrible room to test this, damn. This'll do. Oh. Oh, my coding is terrible today. Ugh. Happens. Photoshop, this should be 0. This should actually be this. It's weird incrementing it there because it doesn't actually set anything, so I don't think it really does what I want it to do. Polishing the game is so weird because I don't really know all the things I need to do to polish it. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. Hey, Lepus, how's it going? Doing good? Nice, nice. Up to anything exciting? Why is this resetting itself to 2 instead of 0? I guess it probably doesn't print it. Sunday there? It's fair. Well, it's not quite Sunday, it's Saturday here, but in like an hour and 34 minutes it'll be Sunday here. Telling myself I should work on the game. Even though my desire to do so lately has not been as high as it could be. Putting a slyway in here to increase curse faster if you've been in the darkness long enough. It goes up so fast. I wonder if I divide it by like 30 or something and then add it in here, if that makes a difference. Because it counted pretty fast. Kinda. I had a thing in there where if you stood still for like 10 seconds, I think that's what it was, then you gain like 25% of your curse back if you were in the darkness when you did it. That's not really very fun to be forced to just stand there. So I was thinking of rewarding the player for being in the darkness longer. So they don't have to wait forever to get their curse back. Like, I'm not gonna do it for sanity, it would just be for curse. The longer you're in the darkness. Hey, Hyper Studios, how's it going? It would take all the way until, like, I wouldn't even have gotten one back. This is not fast enough. It's too slow. Oh, never mind. I'm in the light. It wouldn't matter. Yeah, it would have been like 30 seconds before she even got one back. That's a long, well, maybe 30 seconds, but I think it was like 15. That's terrible. Yeah, decent enough. Hard to complain, really. About 10 seconds in the darkness or something. I actually do the math for this myself. Yeah, just most of my life's going pretty good. Health problems have been not as bad. Got some people want me to do a written interview for this for the game, so gotta answer those questions at some point soon. Got my 200 wish lists. 202 actually. Not the worst. Push the little like dialogue thing to black in the corner, which I like better automatically anyway. I guess gray, but whatever. That just gets built too fast now. I look how fast she gets it back, just like instant 10. Oh, this is dangerous because she can just dodge forever. I mean, I guess you figure your sanity does start to wear out, but the longer she's in the darkness, the stronger she'll get. Ten seems like too fast, and 30 seems like way too slow. You do have to stand there in it too, so if you go into light, touch the light at all. But right now at this point I could basically, never mind, I was in light so I wouldn't get anything by that, but might be something to this, but maybe it needs to be a bigger number. round. This way it just rounds to 0 if it's below 1. And maybe we try 15, see how that goes. The problem is dodge is now equipped on that too, so the longer you're in the darkness, the more powerful dodge would become. I don't know how I feel about that. That is a problem. The dodge always eats a certain percentage, but with how fast that recovers, it doesn't really matter. This might be a really bad idea. Yeah, look, you're getting like 4 back now, or 5 back. Like, it's just jumped super fast. It needs to be so much less than this number. Maybe I just live without this thing here. And this, because if you can recover your curse too fast, then it does defeat the purpose of it, costing what it does. I really just want to avoid the having to wait a long time in an area to get it back, but I just don't see how I can avoid that. Avoid punishing them at least some. Well, 15 service, maybe I do like, maybe 20 is actually better. Because, yeah, I don't know what I would do on that one. It might be too 11th hour for this sort of thing. Yeah, I think it might be too 11th hour. The stand still think he wasn't too bad, and that I guess it was okay since you did kind of just recover a curse if you were willing to sit there. But you did have this problem where you just stand like this for a while and do nothing and not even move. It's not really explained. Maybe instead of doing that, I just have, you know, some sort of things that emit like more curse than normal. Like a curse light, essentially. Maybe the curse light causes you to gain, to lose sanity faster. That's probably better. This other thing, it's just... I can't let you dodge indefinitely like that. It's just a terrible plan. Oh well. Curse lights, I can at least control where they're at. Not sure I'm gonna put them in, but lights which emit curse but also drain sanity. Oh. So let me remind myself real fast. Goes off and I check this stuff here. Oh, it's actually just a looping event, and it's just getting all actors with the tag light. And then it checks their light information. They all have a BPI interact on them, and each one has an attenuation radius. The room they're in, and if the light is on. And the room they're in thing is just so that the lights won't go through the walls, because obviously if it's an attenuation radius, then a wall would mean nothing. It's just a circular radius around the light. And then it checks here to see if it's equal to Poppet's room name, whichever room she's currently in. Obviously, if the light's on, it just says false. If, you know, if she's not in the room, then it's just false. And then it checks the distance from the actor, the light thing like that, to Poppet. And if, you know, she's within range of it, then it adds it to an array. And if not, it looks for the actor and then removes it from the array. And then down here, it just goes, okay, well, is the length of this greater or less than 1? Okay. If true, then it just does the darkness particle thing like that and sets up for, you know, being in the darkness and changes the light and everything like that. And if it's greater than 1, it turns the lights on. This final part here is just it checking all the keys in there to make certain they're actually valid. And if they're not valid, it removes them. Sometimes the lights would get kind of caught up in there, mixed up or something like that. So just to be certain that they didn't get RFG'd by the what is this system called? Why am I blanking on it? Data layer system. There we go. Yeah, it does that, and then it just loops around. Oh, sure thing. Yeah, I thought about it for a while because it was just a real pain. I don't really know of any other way to really check if you're in the light because there's just no exposed variable anywhere that tells your game that you're in the light. Lumen doesn't have anything of the sort. It's like, it's not that I've ever heard of. Maybe they added it. Yep. This just runs all the time. It's not the most efficient, but unfortunately, because of the way data layers work and the whole event begin play thing and then being removed, I couldn't get it to work with them just telling Poppet one time. Because every time they get data layered out, sometimes they come back in and they'd have passed the, they wouldn't run their event begin play. So they would announce themselves to Poppet, so then Poppet didn't know they were there. So it's not the most ideal method, but I can't come up with a better way due to how all the things handle each other. Also, the H-load system would do the same problem. It's like, okay, well, the H-load system took them out, but left them midway to where they were. So they never tell themselves, Poppet, that she's too far away or anything like that. Yeah, it's a pain. I'm using the unfortunate get all actors with tag. It's not too bad. I don't usually have more than 1,000 actors around at any given time. I guess I just leave off on this other thing here. It just doesn't... I just can't see any world this makes sense. I just need a different method. Too overpowered. Can't balance it. Don't want to deal with it. Sound like a fun quality of life, but... yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. I tried a bunch of methods. There's just no... If only data layers and H-loads actually made them run like that, it destroyed the event, so it ran all the things that being destroyed, and it ran the event begin play when they came back. That would change everything. But they don't work like that. So it's just led to that whole, well, what else am I supposed to do? And I don't run every frame or anything like that. It runs... how often do you run? Every 0.2 seconds. So it's not too bad. I didn't have the option to reverse how it works, except for that I'm not really using these anymore. Kind of defeats the purpose. It really is just in darkness down here. These other ones are just irrelevant. Maybe at some point I'll go back to using those abilities too, but some abilities prove to be too powerful. Like I've been cutting things from the game because they were ridiculous. They were just so strong that they just completely nullify everything else. They're too good. And the devil, like the weird little like thing that flipped the curse that it had, was disgusting. It basically just said, what curse? You need one more stat, you just turn it on. Okay, it's like, okay, now I'm suddenly in the darkness but gaining sanity. Oh, I need curse back. I'll just turn it off. Now I'm in the darkness and gaining curse. Same thing in the light. Like, this one thing just says, I don't care about wherever I'm at. We had to equip it each time, but it's dumb. It's like the star had 2 different abilities, and this thing was just 1. Too good. Of course, the star heals you. This doesn't actually heal you. Yeah, some of these abilities are too strong. The sun just being a light was just too boring, I think, of an ability. Yeah, I'm gonna remove this other thing. I don't like it. I forgot it was there for a long time anyway, and it just wasn't very good. But that's what I'm doing here. Focusing the game down to what actually needs to be in it and getting rid of the crap that doesn't need to be. I find it helps to remove as many numbers as possible from these so my list don't look as long. Some stuff I had to even remember what I was doing on them. I haven't looked at this stuff in months. I don't know what this is doing here. This was such a problem. I think I'm just gonna leave the HUD as it is. I might move this down though. Seems a little high. Also feels like it could be shrunk down a bit. And it would be fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Didn't see it pop back up. Okay. This has been such a problem child, this whole tiny circus thing. I'm not convinced it actually adds anything. Again, because the whole, I didn't really keep the circus theme for very long. I don't have enough stuff to make it happen, like the weird little evil circus thing. So since I'm not really using it, like, anywhere, I'm kind of wondering if I should just eliminate that. Like, I can keep clowns if I want, but I don't know about a whole circus sub-theme. Especially because it exists only in basically... Carnival Room has like 1 tent, and then the Toy Maze has some tents. And that's it. It's not anywhere else. That's pretty weird. I do recall one of the little packs had these adorable looking little houses. And what is a toy house or a dollhouse except for just, you know, a regular house that's miniaturized, right? I also need to be adding collectibles in places because I just cut out all these collectibles. So I need a certain number of collectibles in the toy maze, but the problem right now is the only collectible I have gives levels. It was something I was a little worried about. I do gotta give up quite a few. But if I give out any more, I have to scale Patrick's level up. Which is, I guess I just give him a bigger level number. It shouldn't really make a big difference, I guess. Because I don't think any of his... I think I've already scaled everything with like whatever his level is, so it shouldn't make a big difference. I mean, I put little tents up here and everything like that. I don't hate the circus theme, except for the magician room in the middle between these two is so weird. Like, why? I didn't plan this very well for all these things, so... This Hall of Records thing has nothing to do with it either. But the big problem is largely these ropes. Because they block stuff. And yeah, you could remove the collision on the ropes, I guess, in a modeling thing, but that would just be weird if you just run through the ropes. It's like, You can go underneath these here, but... Also, they look dilapidated and weird, and then they have this problem here where the collision on them is so bad that... I do kind of want a replacement for them. I can't make them any bigger because of the ropes. Like, I want to make them big enough for Poppet to go inside, but because the ropes stick through everything, I can't. Why is Unreal Engine freezing? Come on. I need the Epic Game Launcher to show so I can actually, I don't know, it's being dumb. I think it was like winter or something like that. There was like... There were these houses here, but they might have snow on them. I also don't know if they have interiors. It doesn't look like you could go inside them, unfortunately, so it wouldn't really help me much. I definitely need something you can go inside. I mean, I could add more circus things in, and I could go the other direction with it. More little creepy circus thing. There's just not enough assets for it, though, and almost all of them are these stupid tents with, like, you know, things holding them up. And that makes sense, you know, the things are holding them up. Sure. But... and they do not fit anywhere. So I could find little steampunk buildings or something, little steampunk dollhouses would be pretty sweet. I do have the Victorian house stuff. I could make little mini houses. Am I really doing that though? I could just call back calling this the Failures Exit, not the Tiny Circus. here. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the tiny circus, but I think at this point it's one of those things where there's not much I can add to it that I really want to add to it. It would just be out of collectible or something if I'm going to, and there's no point in going up here yet. I could put a key up here or something. That wouldn't be the worst choice. I kind of like this key right here. I could hide another goodie box somewhere, like a goodie box here or something. I don't usually put goodie box keys in the same room though. It's kind of a rock and a hard place when it comes to the fact that everything is either a key or +1 level. So the key either needs to have something. There's a limited number of keys you can have in the game, of course. And I guess having this key right here makes so little sense. In reality, Tinka's painting should probably be over here. Hidden away behind a bunch of crap. I guess I got a little circus crap here. I don't know. Maybe I just keep it for now. I don't really want to redo a bunch of things here. And this would be a Hall Records key. So I can put the Hall Records key out here or something, or even in somewhere in the maze. Like a reward for going up here or something. It does kind of make it obligatory. But I like to have one other item in the maze. So I guess to be fair, there's painting blockers in the maze, so it's not like it's totally worthless. That reminds me. These things. Yeah, I don't know about this weird light in the middle of nowhere. It's bizarre. I mean, it's a maze. No one said you had to be rewarded at every end of the maze. That means that inside here, like, 2 of the painting blockers, though maybe I move another painting blocker in there. Like, the one right here is kind of awkward, because it starts attacking you immediately, and that's just not a good thing. But if a painting blocker was over here... I guess I can have other objectives hidden away too that aren't, you know, the collectible items so much. I guess this is a thing you have to kill. So right here. Yeah, not gonna change that. I don't think it's worth it. Can I just copy the whole transform? Doesn't look like it. I had to figure out the problem with this system because it spawns 2 Charlottes, but the painting blockers work fine. So I did something weird. I didn't miss any messages, did I? They were mostly quality of life things, and just stuff making more sense and where it's at, like more things that are better objective layouts and things like that. You know, those kinds of things. It probably helps a lot. Because otherwise, it's a little weird. Yeah, I'm just going to ditch this whole concept here. I don't think they're going to necessarily make the cut in the long run. Or maybe I'll add it to the complete chapter 1 and deal with it later. As potential maybes, like ideas. They can always get completely axed from the game or replaced or something. I don't know. It's true, I don't have a map image for the Haunted Gallery yet. That's because it's hard to make a map image because I gotta basically put everything in an entire floor and then hide it real fast. Like a data layer, and then I can, you know, take a screenshot of it. But until then, it's kind of a pain. I'll be right back. I take way too much before the stream. The problem with doing these things, it always feels like I'm not really accomplishing much, even though things have to get done. Oh yeah. This whole water spawn thing is a real problem. Like they're still being hit by the water when they spawn in. And that's not good. The big problem is more that it's rewarding the player with items perpetually. But I had a method for dealing with that. Actually, it's undestroyed, I believe. What was it? Like it's... Or it's just destroyed. Okay, yeah, so it's explicitly destroyed here. Remind myself what I was doing. Destroy actor was called there too, but if I just called destroy actor here, then they wouldn't spawn. But isn't that what I'm doing on the water? Like, is that not? Fixing the bugs, fixing the bugs. Ah, kill target's being called. That's very different. Yeah, it just runs the full death thing. So I'm just gonna destroy after him. There's so many scenarios of things you can have happen. It's annoying. I think that'll fix the issue. Won't stop from despawning. But supposedly it's overlapping their capsule. Wonder what the problem is. Never the case, as long as they don't reward Poppet because they happen to fall in the pool, I'm fine with it. It doesn't gotta be perfect, especially not in this particular iteration. Like I said, at this point I just want the playtest to happen because it's a milestone. Not like a public playtest, just a playtest of anyone else besides me. Just so I can say someone else has tried the game. So it needs the bare minimum for my, you know, like, close friends to not hate me too much by making them play. That's all I need. It's just enough that they don't hate me. I mean, story's not going to be in or anything like that, so it's just going to be whatever's there for the most part. Bit of a sneezing fit. Sure. It's hard to tell if I fix this one or not. I just gotta kind of run around a bunch to see if it starts dropping, you know, things everywhere. Like, or I just suddenly start getting free items sent my way. That's what was happening. Is I'd be running along and then I'd suddenly be rewarded with all these like healing items, and it's like I didn't kill anything. Pretty certain I fixed it though, because I would have been rewarded by now otherwise. Come on. Load. 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 There we go. First load's the worst load. Hello. It doesn't really update. Like, they should be moving around, and they're not. No. Don't do what I just did there, house. You trying to fall? Now, someone just fell in the water there, and I didn't see any problems there.
Nobody could ever love me. I'm not talking to me. Stew and rum doesn't like Stew and rum doesn't like I'm not talking to me. Whispers, I'll rebuild the please, but the pipes call me a thief. It's been broken too long.
This is definitely one of my favorite rooms. Just because there's a lot going on in it. Ideally, the Hidden Grotto will be similar to this. The Hidden Grotto's not as big as this, though. This room is just massive. And maybe that's okay. Maybe having big rooms is fine, because I can just do this and... Well, the new system seems to spawn pretty well. Fell in the water hoops. Yeah, they didn't give me anything, so that's fine. That fixes the issue. And once again, occasionally get an error of this where it, in the brief second between here and there, or not even a second, the thing dies and it's like, whoa, that's not valid. Is there an is valid array? I mean, I've already gone through and checked to see if every single thing is valid. Weird. I find all the holes in my code. I guess I just need to remake this pathway. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't. I thought I already fixed this right here by just putting, like, you know, blocking volume? Is that a blocking volume? It is, but I feel like it's angled a little weird. As long as I can run over it, though, it doesn't matter. That's my new strategy. Some of these old things I merged them together before I fixed the collision on them. So now they have terrible collision. But a quick blocking volume ghetto fix. And pretty golden. I don't know why I said a poor collision. I mean, I already had fixed it earlier. If anything, I think the one down there is, like down here had poor collision if memory serves, unless I redid it. I might have remade this whole one knowing me. No, I didn't. I just did the bottom. There's one that was trash collision. Yeah, right here, a trash collision right there. It's just like that one spot. I think the spawner's doing a much better job. I was tweaking with the numbers and adding additional conditions for how often it spawns things. And how much better it is opposed to putting them near you in relevant positions. I'm sure I'm going to keep tweaking it though. Where is this at? It's right here. Is it there? Seems like it's down here. Yeah, like right there. So basically right at that tree and somewhat near the light. Let's get our blocking volume on. Welcome to chat. Missing anything, right? Nope. Windows is being a real jerk at the moment. Oh, itching. I went nowhere. So I mostly just need to have really just a small one, honestly, just kind of cover the area right between these, but not sticking off the side so that it doesn't, you know, cause any additional issues. Low enough that nobody cares. I think that'll fix it. Find out. Alright, there though. That spot's pretty trash. If I can find it again. Honestly, this might actually get stuck in the ground too. Oh, not second round, but I mean. A little bit off there, it looks like. Stop building navigation, it's in the way. I just want to move this. Enough that it's not an issue. I care about that corner right there. I just don't want it to be a lip in the back or something that causes it to be unable to do stuff. Might not be ideal, but as long as Poppet can move over it, that's good enough for me. I mean, it's a minor quality of life thing for certain. Like, you could just jump. Well, look, she's hitting off the tree there, so that's fine. That I'm not concerned about. At least this has a visible reason why she can't get over it, and that's fine. I just don't want her to get stuck on nothing. He's good. I'll probably just have a map it transfers to, showing like a quick ending thing, you know, for the playtest, just to shit like that, or maybe just a sign at the end. It says congratulations on reaching the end of the playtest. And I don't bother with some big video because it's just a playtest, and I don't really care if, you know, my local friends see some sort of video at the end. That's probably a good idea. Again, I don't want to... An entire video takes a great deal of time. You know what doesn't take any real time? Dropping a stupid little sign there. To say it's the end of the playtest or something like that. You know, just so they know. Because otherwise, it's just... Yeah. Yeah. I have to do everything I can to make it so that I can get to that milestone, just, you know, for my own sanity. Ah, 5.7 and it's terrible text thingy, yeah. Actually, just let me do everything. As soon as I load the map, it'll fix that thing, so I don't really care about that, but I can just read the playtest for now. I don't need to write that thing there, it's fine. Later on, it'll be much better, I'm sure, but for now, I gotta get someone else testing this game out besides me. I think I'm just gonna move anything else for Patrick's room to there. I don't care about it for this playtest. I just don't. These are all things I'd like to see more in the demo. So maybe not. Maybe maybe they'll make it to later playtests and everything like that as I just start adding more things. And I might move the where the playtest goes to as time goes by too. Like I might have multiple playtest builds. Like the one I subject the public to and then the one I subject my friends to. Obviously the one I subject my friends to will be significantly worse. It'll have more experimental crap basically, you know. Like I said, I think they're going to be a little more forgiving than the general public is. Am I going to even have voices explaining anything? I don't know if I'm going to. I might just temporarily remove those. And just have little signs. Well, I have less things to worry about now. I do got to make at least the early ones of these. At some point, and have the ability descriptions, which I could probably do right now. Because they do have ability descriptions, they're not the most accurate, and they don't really include stats, but again, I don't think they need to have stats or anything like that. I think that's just more of a, how does the game play? And it's possible I want to hide a lot of numbers in the first place, I don't know. Well, maybe not. Oh yeah, the control scheme. I don't know how I'm going to do the control scheme. I mean, I know how to program it. That's not the problem. Is where I want the buttons to be on like a generic controller like this, you know, like, because one of the big issues is that you're going to need to be able to move the camera around to see what you're doing. But if you're moving the camera around and you're moving your character around, your thumbs are likely on these two things. How are you planning on hitting these buttons over here to do anything important? Which means then you have like the top button. So you're really going to play the game by hitting the top buttons? Is that what we're doing here? You're like holding the control like with these, and you're hitting these? Is that how we're doing it? Because like it's a real problem having to move the camera around. It's one of the reasons I don't like playing on a controller as much as I like the keyboard and mouse, even though jumping with the keyboard is a little weird. The mouse camera control is so much better than a controller camera control ever was. So then it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, then like, what are these, like, you know, like, it's like an attack button up here, like a terraform button, and then jump and dodge, I guess, somewhere in there. And then these buttons here represent what, like the menu and I guess switching between the tarot abilities. And then I don't know. Where would I even put that last one? I mean, ducking is the thing, I guess. I was gonna be like, you know, just push down on this to duck, but you can also put things slave to the controller too to move around, or you can just make this moving. I don't know, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, how is the best way to do it? I'm assuming that the only way to make it work is that I have to use these buttons for the controls. I need to look at other Metroidvania controls, but there are many 3D Metroidvanias, so I would almost have to look at action game controls, how they do their camera work. I mean, it just makes more sense than what I'm currently doing. Of course, I have to remind myself how to have the controls set up. Oh, I know. There's so many little systems in this. It's just an endless supply of things. It's like, oh yeah, but then there was this, and then there was this. This is why I pretty much tell people use only what's absolutely necessary. Just skip out on everything else. Trust me, you're gonna make it so complicated, you're never gonna get done. And that's not great. Right mouse button is terraform. You have to switch really often between terraform. But I'm probably assuming that one of these triggers is probably better for terraform than one of these ones, because these are more comfortable to push all the time and these are not. Right? So I would assume you'd want to jump to one of the most comfortable ones and then basic attack. I guess. And that's so weird. I always feel like the button should be down here, but I just can't see any world you'd be able to pull that off and make it comfortable to do. I guess we're... Are you not plugged in? Recognizing it. There we go. Sure. Camera zoom. I mean, I might include a lock-on system at some point too, though I don't know. I haven't really bothered with the lock-on system yet. I was gonna make one, then I didn't do it. So I guess like this, and then like this. This right trigger. Right trigger was actually the up one, right? So this would actually be. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let's figure out which one's which. Sure, pause there. Middle mouse button is for flying. Huh. Maybe I make like a crouch or something like that, and then make this like for flying for later. R3. Guess. I don't use camera mode. Flight, huh? Mouse wheel access? Uh-oh. Where's the music? Where'd you go, buddy? Did you get to the end finally? You just decided you're just done with it, huh? That's fair. Sure. Flight's a problem. Got so much crap open. Do I use flight? Like, is that a thing? I have flight? It zooms in and out. Not useless. I'm gonna have to look into that one because I'm not sure exactly how that translates to buttons on a controller. Badly, I think might be the term we're looking for. Yeah, I have a camera look gamepad. Oh, interact is the thing. Maybe I should make like A interact or something like that. One thing I'm not sure on is switching the tarot cards as an option, like and the tarot menu itself should also have a thing. That's 3 extra buttons that I want them to be relatively available. But how available? Because I mean, I'm assuming jumping and attacking are more important. And being able to switch to tarot mode is probably more important too, because you gotta do it very fast. And then dodging. So yeah, I really want those 4 buttons to be the most available. And then you have a little bit more time when switching. So I guess A becomes interact, huh? Is that what it is? Is that how we're doing it? Sure. Okay. Camera look gamepad's already done. Dodge. I need to write these down, what the controls are. I don't have to remember what we're doing here. I mean, I guess I can technically look through this. It's kind of weird to constantly have to look through it though. Whatever. And that's for tarot menu. I need probably a better better. Well, actually, V is really easy to reach. So where's the tarot menu going to be for just switching that way? I mean, I guess just Y, right? Because like it'll be just like, you know, these swap between the two, to the next active tarot or the previously active tarot, and then this opens up the tarot menu to directly select what you want. It's not terrible. And then the bottom buttons interact. Which you will have to hit quite a bit, but hey man, there's only so many buttons. So that's probably fine. I was going to use the D-pad for cycling. I'm not sure that's better or worse. Oh, I put the wrong one. Crouching is already got that. Gamepad left thumbstick button. Yeah, it's this one here. Here. The left mouse button is going to be, I presume, the left shoulder. And then dodge, I guess, is that one there. Missing one? Jump. Where's jump? Blind? Could be. Oh, it's on the sandbox character, isn't it? And she borrows it from them. That'll make it hard to adjust, won't it? If I need this here. Does this even work? I can use control to move around this. Cool. On the screen because controls are weird. That's jump. Feels weird. Why are you walking? How did you walk? I forgot how I even switched between the two. If I add this to here, does it overwrite but still send a signal back to its parent? Is that how it works? We're about to find out. I don't know if that's how it works. Huh. It sucks that I have to employ their crap too. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Man, controller feels awful for this so far. I really kind of want the buttons not where the triggers are, but not like I want to put them the main things where the buttons are, and not the triggers. But again, I just don't see how you manipulate the camera otherwise. I guess you could just move the camera and then push a button, and then the triggers can be something else. Because they feel really gross. There's no dev menu button. Like, it doesn't have a good feel to it at all. It's not like horrible, but it feels awkward. I don't know what's causing her to walk. There should be no walk option. Let's be on here. Dev menu. This does give you better camera control though. But I definitely want to hit the other buttons and not the triggers. It works. Feels so weird. Guess I could try flipping it around and seeing if I like it better. Actually, the big problem is really just you're going to end up having to continuously move your finger between these and those if otherwise, whereas this way you could technically still swing weapons and control the camera, which is really good for projectile weapons for certain. Pushing between this is kind of awful too. What did they make the bottom button anyway? I forgot. I think it's overwritten, but I have F as interactive mind. I wonder if E's better. Man, that's great. You don't like what's going on there? Why don't I delete it? Can I do that? This is stuff from like the previous version of Unreal Engine. They're depreciating stuff. It's like, to be fair, it was experimental, so yeah. I haven't even bothered to touch the newest movement thingy. I don't want to integrate a whole other movement system right now. This one seems fine. The other one doesn't appear to add anything I care about. Some alternate movements, something that looked way worse. There's that, I guess. But overall, I remain unimpressed. I should probably write these down. This is just a really weird way to look at things, I think. Write these down here like that. Controls. So it's left shoulder. Terraform because it sounds funnier. You want to be able to switch between this incredibly fast, since I basically have tied all the abilities to whether or not you're using it or not. Or most of the abilities are tied to it. It makes the game a lot simpler to play. Less menuing. Less trying to figure out what's going on, less worthless abilities. This should be left trigger. Almost feels like it should be the right one there. I don't know if jump should be there or not, but whatever. Kind of make sure I don't forget anything either. And then dodge should be like shift if memory serves. And that trigger. There's those. Ouch. Ball twitching. We interact with the bottom one there. That's what I was trying to figure out for a while there. Could be T for all I care. Man, T would probably be just as good. I'm so used to hitting V for it because it seems easier to hit than T. Actually, V is a lot closer than T on the keyboard. That's true. True. Said TerraCycle left. It's so funny because I actually hit these keys all the time and I don't even remember what it is I'm hitting anymore. You seem very backwards. No, E's right. Never mind. Q left. On Swab, right? I might just have some like thing written on the side to explain what these are, or just something in the menus to show what it is. So that's also why I'm writing this down, just to make it really easy on myself. Also, you can go to the options menu and see what the current buttons are set as too. But whatever. Well, trigger. It's backwards. Currently the menu is tab in this, but I'm going to switch to escape eventually. Because you can't, in an Unreal Engine, escape will exit your playtest, so you... I don't know why they didn't default it to like tab or something and make escape the menu thing that is in every game ever, but it did not. Very strange. So, and then whatever the hell they calls it in there. Oh, I see. I mean, it's just basically start menu, or the start button. And I think that's everything I need to worry too much about. I guess there's the camera zoom. Is camera zoom not used? Yeah, I don't think this is used. Seems like the camera's controlled entirely by the flight thingy. But it's not actually flying. I might have to make a separate one for controlling the gamepad there, which means I need the calculations for it. This should actually see rename the camera zoom. So it was originally flying, but now it's just a camera zoom, so... Just for my sanity, this should be camera zoom. How does that even work? Maybe it'll just know. Used to be used the thing to try to, you know, raise and lower your altitude, but now you just look wholeheartedly at the thing and just go the way you want to go. You don't do anything special. Seems better to me. Not that flying is super relevant right now, but... doesn't want to let me, do this until I save, huh? At some point I have to actually beat the game using the controller, and I'm not looking forward to that at all. I can't begin to underestimate, underestimate how annoying it is to have to look with the thing while still doing the jumps and stuff, so... I'll end up trying it a couple ways to see how it plays out. Badly, probably. But it's important. Well, it's not smooth by using those things there. I mean, that's just the unfortunate nature of it, because they don't have a smooth thing like that. The mouse is obviously much smoother. I don't think I want up down to be on there. I think that those are kind of extras, and it's just going to be mouse wheel and those things is probably fine. I mean, I guess the question is, do I even need... Well, I don't need multiple versions of this either, so whatever. I don't like how crappy it is for zooming in and out. But, I mean, it's already manipulating the camera the other way, so... Like, what am I supposed to do, right? I can access the menu that way. It's still really awkward going to these, but that's fine, I guess. It's not horrible. Better than it was, obviously. Oh, actually. To be attack, right? Oh, the magician's got problems. Well, that's good to know. It's getting better. That should probably be all the controls, I think. This is why I eliminated 2 of the buttons for purposes of, like, you know, using abilities. This used to be a tarot card, had 3 different abilities that were all tied to each button. Mostly on the mouse thing, made it easy. But that's really annoying to shift through. And on a controller it would have been even worse. I don't think I'm forgetting anything there. Right? Crouch is in there, camera movement. I didn't put camera zoom. I don't want to forget anything. Pad up. Do I even use a camera mode? Or is it just telling it controls it doesn't need to and causing potential bugs? How do I delete that? Camera mode? I am. The problem is that the the game animation sample will continuously force you to move whichever direction. Like, it'll change the camera wherever it's at. That doesn't matter. So I don't think this actually does anything. It used to. Now I don't think it matters. What I have set here? I mean, Q switches between the ability things anyway, so it's not doing anything. I'll keep it around just in case I want it for something, but probably getting the axe just because of how the other thing is programmed. I don't plan on switching off of that for at least the foreseeable future. Because I was already hitting Q over and over and over. You already have the ability to shift around like this. It's just, if you're looking like this, and it'll automatically move towards that. Yeah, it automatically just follows your movement based on whichever way the camera is facing and turns her towards it. If you're not moving, it won't turn it, but the second you start moving, it'll turn the camera towards where she's going, so. Kind of serves no function anymore. On the map. What? Select, I guess, opens the map? That's fair. I think I've actually ran out of buttons. Just be select, start, and all that. Raj already has one, right? Yeah. Obviously, the dev menu does not need one. I mean, in reality, I'll end up just removing that for the playtest anyway. I don't want them messing with the dev menu. It would just be pointless. Avoids the entire test. So that should be all the controls. It'll just be me shifting them around. But now I was writing them down because you saw me remove a bunch of things that weren't even there anymore. I haven't looked at the controls in quite some time. Alright, well... I don't know if I count it as feeling awful or not. I just know that there's a certain fundamental problem. Maybe I'll talk to my roommate who's a big time gamer about that sort of thing. Because, you know, he plays... I don't know, like 50 plus games a year, and I don't. You know? I really want to push the face buttons. I really do. I just want to be able to manipulate the camera at the same time. It might just feel awful this way. just gonna have to do some playing to see if I like this better, but in my own mind, I want to do the opposite. I really want to hit these buttons to jump and do things, and I really want to hit these to shift between the abilities. But I have them the other way, and I don't know. Like I say, the ability to control the camera while doing everything is kind of nice. Otherwise, when you jump, you won't be able to position things very well, and you can maneuver in the air while doing that, so it's kind of handy, but you don't have to hold jump either. Because holding jump does actual nothing unless you're trying to grab. It does, you know, for grabbing stuff. Creepy. It's not horrible. It really just might need to be that those 8 buttons are shifted between each other. I just remember in testing that though I liked having the buttons over there, I couldn't see what I was doing very easily. So it's the question of, do I hit this button and look around, or do I hit this button and then have to move my hand back to look around? And that might be worse. I don't know. I'll think about it. At least I've worked on it, and it works now. Before, they didn't work at all, so like there was missing stuff, and now you could technically play the game with it, so it might not feel awful, it just doesn't feel great. Actually, a lot of things I've kind of removed from here. I mean, I guess I need some Annie's-on stuff. The Annie's-on doesn't have to be there. I could just have the items as a thing like that. Again, I was kind of leaving a lot of the story out for now, just so I can get something going here. Also, the story keeps getting changed to try to adjust for all the crap that keeps getting moved around in the building, and abilities being changed and how they react to things and stuff. You can't write dialogue, you know, if everything keeps changing. I guess you can, but it's just weird. And going live on YouTube early is such a silly thing. You go live at the right time and you'll get like 30, 40 people. You go at the wrong time, you get 1. Keep an eye on that there. That reminds me, I need to spawn back to this guy. Hearing my post for the day so he can do all the work of spamming it for me. No, it takes like a second to do it. And, oh, nope, it's actually too early. 2 hours too early. Okay. I think the campsite needs a lot of work, but one of the things I'm actually half tempted to do is just axe this from the first playtest. I mean, it works. I haven't had any problems grabbing ledges at this point. Yeah, a lot of these I don't know if they're actually going to be, if they actually matter here. Oh yeah, the painting ripple broke because of 5.7. I don't know what's causing that. It's annoying. I'll have to do this on the next playtest to see if it actually works or not. Which I don't know if I'm going to do tonight. I mean, I probably will once I run out of things I need to fix. Like, I don't even necessarily need a map image for the Haunted Gallery for my friends to test. It's not like a big deal. I'll just tell them this is like the most alpha of alpha that ever alphaed. Not even an alpha build at that point. They fix the tarot things that are broken. Those are gameplay issues. Other stuff that's not really gameplay issues, I can kind of just leave to do whenever. I did write those in there, right? They're on a different list entirely. Just to remind myself that that one's on the sandbox character specifically. Why was Illian projectile parent? I don't know. Just no socket, probably. I think I can actually solve this problem by just attaching this to the mesh. Because I'm swapping skeletal meshes and that often confuses Unreal Engine, it doesn't like that. I don't know if I need to weld simulated bodies, seems weird. Might need to. We'll test it. Fast. It's possible once I get the playtest going that some of the other stuff might come back. I just really want to not focus on things that aren't getting added yet. Because it's just stupid to spend a bunch of time focused on something that just isn't going to happen or might not happen at all. Okay, that's weird. Let's just attach it to arrow capture. Like, why was I attaching it? I had this other thing where I was commanding it to sit in a specific spot, but why? Because it was just set in a relative location and having it constantly float through that. And I did that for the longest time because I was just... I guess at the time I didn't know, but I was so proud of myself when I figured out a way to do it that way. It's a really old Cody thing. It goes all the way back to when I was doing Papers ED for this in like the first 50 streams for this game. It is not an ideal way to do it at all. It was actually really dumb. But a lot of code that I look back at, I was so proud of at the time. Maybe it wasn't that dumb because it sure seemed to work. This one doesn't work that well at all. Where's arrow capture at? Good question. Oh yeah. This might be why I didn't do it this way, because then you could do this and shove it through things, and then you can't get it back. Perhaps I was actually a genius the first time. Because unless I world simulated bodies, I think I turned the collision off. Why did I make this change? Like I didn't test it at all. Weird. Maybe I should just accept that if something isn't broken, I don't need to fix it. Now it's the same problem all over again. Stupid hand switching. It does that. It's so weird because it's not actually ever looking at the mesh, so why would changing the mesh ever make a difference? Like it's literally just looking at the arrow capture, and the arrow capture is on the capsule, not on the meshes. I guess if it's not valid. Is that okay if it's not valid? I want this if it's not valid, just in case. Otherwise, it might be where I won't be able to pick them up again. Works fine. Aeroform. Back. I'm using it these, I don't know what they even do. Perhaps if I tell it to try it again afterwards, it'll fix it. There you go. Apparently switching those somehow caused it to break this looping event. I was causing that. But it was some sort of weird, who knows what going on in there. And now, neither of these are relevant anymore. I just need to suck it up and work on this room. That thing is sat unfinished for so long. Also, I'm going to do this thing where I remove a bunch of these bugs up here. Just for my own sanity. No other reason than just to make this list seem way less long. It just seems so much nicer to me to see this shorter list instead of like, oh, there's like 30 things, even though there's like very few. Nice. It'll look so much less daunting. I'll take the less daunting. Yeah, see, now there's only 12 things I need to look at. That seems so much better than the huge numbers previously. I mean, there's still all this other shit that needs to be done here. It's so much stuff. It's like, blah. But that's all for chapter 1. I don't give a crap about that right now. Some stuff here. lot of it I don't think it's that necessary for the first test. Like I say, it's more about a milestone than anything else. It's really just about the, oh look, somebody's played it and I have something to go on. I was thinking of trying to unite a lot of the themes here because there was going to be a bunch of different themes in the game. And they didn't always mesh so well. But the game was also supposed to be significantly bigger. Before I came to my senses and realized that game would have never gotten done. So I didn't rename the campsite to... Like, Creepy Curios was what I was thinking of renaming it. I could rename the whole building to Creepy Curios for that matter. But that's not very fitting. Most of the toys up here are more creepy anyway, right? To be fair, most of the whole place is gonna have creepier toys in time. I already have a weird piratey one down here, which I might get a rename too. It does. I haven't even got to that point in chapter 2. So, should I call it? I was also considering renaming this to the Moonlit Garden. I just called this Safari Room before because I had this weird, you know... I don't know, I get the initial plans for this area were so out there in what I was thinking of doing. I was like, well, maybe some sort of weird, like, Peter Pan-esque thing mixed with some sort of weird, you know, just on a safari thing, but... I mean, internally, I'm not going to change the name at all because it's way too much work to change all that crap and I don't feel like it, but... They don't have to know. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but I don't like it. Oops. No, sir, I don't like it. It's already figured out already on that, so don't have to worry about it. I also considered some skylights above the Moonlight Garden area. Yeah, it's just a better name. Just like the Moonlit Garden sounds much more cooler than, you know, the Safari Room. Messages in your map. Kind of an 11th hour change to these things, but I just think the name is better. You're not going on a safari. I don't know why I even went with that name initially. Man, I think I probably will institute like a couple of skylights or something here to kind of have a bit more of, you know, light coming down from above or something. I'm just sad I can't give out the moon here. Because if there was like a hole in the ceiling and like moonlight coming down where the moon was, that'd be way better. And I did change what the moon does. So I guess there's no reason I can't give it out earlier. It's such a weird combat thing though. I don't even know how it would play out against half these enemies. I remember it was really good against Vu. It took away one of its abilities anyway. It no longer does anything to the moon doors. I was gonna have the tower just destroy tower doors instead of the moon making moon doors vanish and appear. I mean, Temperance could be later, but I would be giving you no projectile weapons at that point until much later. I guess you can use yourself as a projectile. Well, no, the problem is you can actually air dash with the moon, the garden, or the moon ability. I was gonna let you give that as a passive, is that you get air dash. Or I guess when it's equipped, you can actually dash in the air to use its ability, so it will launch you a distance. It's not a true dash and that you're not invincible, but it does let you get places you couldn't before. Not that anything's particularly built for that yet. In fact, air dash might not be all that great of a thing. Something to think about. It just seems like it'd be cool if that was where it was. And nowhere else could be the Moonlit Garden, because the reality is that everything else is farther down in the building. This is the only one that's actually near the ceiling, so if I want to have my Moonlit Garden, it needs to be here. It's also one of the oldest room ideas, but just got, you know, axed. Also, the original version was enormous. Back when I had that dilapidated warehouse, it was, God, it would have been like 4 floors worth of space. It was huge. Just huge. Oh. One other place has to be changed. On the encounter table. That's one thing I'm starting to do, is just make it so that a lot of the themes are a little more cohesive. Yeah. I kept some of the pirate stuff, but only because there's pirate stuff inside the giant aquariums and they just have like wrecked ships and stuff. But I'm probably going to get rid of a lot of the other pirate crap because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Stick with my steampunk doll thing for the whole thing. It was just like somebody is slightly themed different a bit. Oh yeah, when I took that picture, this originally didn't have a ceiling. Oh, it had a glass ceiling or something like that. But obviously that's not gonna work out that great. Oops, no. Like I say, I'm just changing it in name. I'm not going to go and rename every single thing. We do the data layer name. I'm not going to do all that. Maybe later. This is more of just a name change I just want to make at some point. Some rooms have lame names. It's just really that simple. One of the things I can do is just put like various enemies here, but then have them be like dead or something. Or behind glass or something. They can't be behind glass. They're gonna be able to jump on them. Yeah, it could just be a gallery of enemies. Essentially. I guess if I'm not doing entirely a weird safari theme, I should probably change these to be different materials, right? Just like this area, and just have these be their own separate things out here. All Charlotte smoke things are really irritating. Any messages in your about? I might take a quick bio break real fast. Yeah, be right back. Not sure how I'm gonna stream it. I'll figure something out. I could just put one of every one of the enemies here and then just merge them together. What I want to do? Okay, lagtastic. There's so much on these. What'd that come out as? Oh, I kept the little heart. Ah, stupid. Yeah, delete it and try again. Yeah. That could actually be pretty creepy. Just have a bunch of the enemies just sitting here watching you. Might make it one of the creepiest rooms around because all the enemies are dead. Or maybe they just never had life in the first place. Oh. Now, my other business is going so well. If I was a smart man, I'm not. I would throw the game away and go, you know, admit to never delete my entire YouTube channel. Be like, I never did any of this, and go just make a bunch of money. I was a smart man. Now I just wouldn't delete everything. I would just, you know, really dial back how often I did anything with it, and just finish it whenever I finish it. Because it's so much more money the other way. But as it's been established, you know, that as a game dev and a streamer, I hate money. And partially hate myself, I guess. That's how you arrive at these sorts of scenarios. Just saying. If you legitimately liked yourself, you would take the thing that makes a bunch of money as hella easy, not that boring to do in the first place. Not even that bad of a job. Hell, it's some people's dream job. Well, it was mine. I just got bored of it. That's not true. I just wanted to make a game. It was just a mistake, but financially a mistake. Unless the game does really well, but even then, a lot of years. Those are definitely creepier looking than the other. Sadly, like I said, changing the data layer is a little more work than that, but I guess it's not really. I just have to make a new one entirely. That's just what it would be. I mean, it's already set up pretty well. I just would need to just make a new name, so. It might get confusing if I don't bother to do this. I probably should just do it. What happened to you? Thought all these were loaded in. Guess not, huh? Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Just having all the toys lined up in here could be pretty good. I'd have more metal or something. I may have to redo the shells so that they're metal. Wouldn't be a bad decision. Yeah, I think that just having this be not there, it's probably better. Just it's kind of weird otherwise. Of course, this can only be one look too, so I'm not sure I want to even change that. I don't want to remake it with two sides. That would be a big pain. Brick, not that. Come on. Oh, no, I can't do that. It shares the whole wall, never mind. I could, but I'd have to redo it all, and I don't want to. I mean, I kind of do want to, but... Maybe. Let's put a bunch of enemies in places. Maybe not so many rubber duckies. Also, rubber duckies are physics thingies, to be fair. Not sure I want to make the other things physics things or not. Probably not. At some point, you kind of want to restrict it a little bit. There's no merge option? Wait, what? I guess you need multiple components to merge it, otherwise it won't do that. I mean, I could just drop in the skeletal mesh, I guess. The only problem is if there's too close, then you can't really grab and get up there that easy. And if they're not really movable, then that's not that great. I think that can work. And maybe put the name of what it is, and then some sort of a price tag for him. It's not a bad idea. Name plus price tag. It worked as a place to tell players what the names of various enemies are. So I probably need to make them all toys that can be knocked around if that's the case, like all physics objects. Do I do that? Maybe. I guess their little sign could be above them. But there'd be stuff along the top. Of course, the problem is windows are right here, so with shelves right at the windows, people might knock stuff out the windows. I guess if the windows are open. If not, windows aren't open, that would make a difference. What gets it done the fastest is my question. Job 1, get it done. Job 2, everything else. What are these little signs I could use? I already have my store text here. Character's not going to be anymore. Guess it keeps the same name. Yeah, I just do this here, put these in between each of these. Lagga, lagga, lagga. Come on. It's just totally frozen, by the way, if you're curious. That's why it stopped. 5.7, folks. 5.7. Still a disaster. I have only regret. Where'd the first text go in here? Okay, it's being weird and hiding itself, sure. I might redo the shelves. Man, duplicating that is like a bad life decision. Oh, I just... that. Content browser. There we go. I was like, wait a minute. I can't find anything. No. Or... oh, it crashed. Isn't that exciting? 5.7, folks. 5.7. You get used to it after a while. The dumpster fire that is 5.7. Mm-hmm. New posts? Yes, sir. The map that I don't use anymore, but it's a good launch map, just in case the other one ever ends up broken. I just go to that and I say, well, solve a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I might just call it for the night. There's not that many people watching tomorrow anyway. Might as well stream when more people are watching. Oh, there's very few people watching. Oh. Besides, there's a bunch of things I want to do that I can't even do on stream anyway because the graphics card I need for that is the same one I need for streaming. So I'll probably just be back tomorrow. I think I'll just do short streams from now on in the future and not do long streams, just like, you know, 3-4 hours here and there, because I just don't, I don't want to sit there for like the 8, 10, 12 hours before this is too many hours. So yeah, I will catch everyone likely tomorrow, probably around the same time. Yeah, have fun.